What is happening, everyone? Spaz32 here, and today we've got a Monster Hunter World video. It's going to be a tutorial on how to defeat the Nergigante, the beast itself. This is the full release version, not the beta version, so it's a lot harder. But first, I wanted to give a very quick review of the game. I've been a fan of the game for about 14 years now, been playing it since the PSP, Monster Hunter Freedom. Absolutely great franchise, absolutely love it. And I absolutely love this game as well. Me personally, I think it is the best one in the franchise. I'm not sure about other veterans of the franchise. If they were like myself, they found the game relatively easy. I certainly did find it quite easy until probably about Nergigante in high rank. That's where I kind of hit my first wall. I didn't hit it for too long, but that's where my first sort of challenge really sort of came into it. Was against Nergigante, but definitely there was more than enough features in the game that are brand new that sort of made up for the lack in difficulty during the early stages. For instance, no loading between the zones in the map, so even at the lower stages, if you had to go and heal, you can't just jump to a different zone and then heal and then jump back into the zone where the monster is. No, you have to run away from the monster to try and heal. You have to time your healing perfectly in this game, because the monsters will give chase, and there's no loading screen to protect you. There's none of that at all. You have to sort of assess the situation that you're in and act accordingly in that situation, which I think is absolutely great for the game. It makes the game a lot more tactical, I feel. And talking about tactics as well, one of the other new features is how to use your environment. In this arena here against the Rathalos, there's actually a lever you can pull and these rocks will come down, or if you're in the ancient forest and you're up in the Rathalos nest, there's a dam, you can blow that up and the water will come out. I'm pretty sure you actually see that in some of the gameplay trailers anyway. There's many other ones as well. One of my favourite ones, and I'm pretty sure people will agree with me, the most powerful creature in the game, the Paratoad. Yes. Annoying little fuckers, but again they're very useful if you use them properly in fights. Kick them, they'll give out a paralysing smoke, steam, mist, powder, whatever, and it'll paralyse the monsters. So yeah, using your environment in the game is very important as well, and also looking out for yourself, because it can be harmful for you also. Another feature as well which is amazing in the game is if you forget to eat on quests before you go out on the quest, you can eat during the quest. If you go to your camp, there's a canteen normally behind your tent, and you can eat there and get the buffs that you wanted. If you're halfway through a quest as well, and you're struggling with a certain weapon, you can go back and change it. Another change to the weapons as well is for the ranged weapons, it feels like a third-person shooter as well. It's a lot more friendly. In the 3DS versions, when you're using the bow and the bow gun, etc., it was quite awkward to try and aim and actually use it effectively, whereas in this game it really has improved. There's many other things, it's only scratching the surface of the game. It's just a very kind of quick overhaul of the game. But without further ado, we'll get into the tutorial of the Nergigante and let's see how we can beat it. Okay, so the first thing we'll look at with the Nergigante is the elements that it's actually weak to. So it's mostly weak to thunder, and it's also weak to dragon. So you can bring any weapons along that are that have those elements. They'll certainly be useful, especially a thunder weapon. The weapon I'm using in this clip is actually the Nergigante Charge Blade, which has got dragon element on it. I'm also using the Nergigante gear in this as well. I've been farming it quite a wee bit as well. So yeah, if you can bring any weapons with you that has any of those two elements on it, you are definitely going to be at an advantage. Another thing to look at with the Nergigante as well is the moveset. Now, it is a very fast, very aggressive monster. It hits very hard. It does have a lot of health as well, and there's a lot of moves to watch out for with the Nergigante. So we'll get into having a look at the moves, what to look out for, and how to avoid them. So this is actually the first move to look out for, the shoulder barge here. So basically, as you see here very slowly, it will sort of rise up onto its side and it will charge you with its wings. If you can, roll towards the tail. That's the best tactic I've found. If you have a shield, then blocking would be the best option for that move. So that's one to watch out for. Another thing I say about the Nergigante is, well, I definitely find it a lot easier if you stick to the Nergigante's side. Stick to its side, stick to its tail. If you can as well, try and cut the tail off. It does have a move that will slam its tail down to you in a sort of swiping motion. So that's something to look out for also. But if you can, stick to its side, sort of run around in circles with it, keep moving. Don't stay still for too long, because that's when it will really hurt you, and this thing can hurt you real bad. So stick to its back two legs, its tail, cut the tail off. You're still doing damage to it. You get a free carve for cutting its tail off, so there isn't really any reason why you shouldn't go for the tail. That's the tail slam there, demonstrated that way. So again, block it with your shield, roll out the way. It's pretty choreographed when it's about to do it. So definitely try and get the tail cut off. And here is another move to watch out for. So it'll rear up and slam down, and then you see all these spikes coming from it. It actually killed me one time when it was close to death. I was trying to run away. It done this behind me and I thought I was safe. But then you see at the very end of the move here, you see all these spikes, these thorns flying out at you. So that's something else to sort of keep an eye on as well. Again, it's just rolling and trying to stay behind it as well. If you're behind it, those thorns don't hit you. And something else you're going to see here as well is mounting the monster. This goes for any monster in the game, not just the Nergigante. Try and mount as much as you can. If you get thrown off, do what you're doing there. I think it's R1 you press. You'll sling back onto the back of the monster. When you mount it successfully, you will top it over, it'll lie on the ground for a while, and there you have it. You get free damage to wail into it. So that doesn't really necessarily focus on just Nergigante. That's any monster in the game. As you see there, that's the tail cut off as well. So that tail move is not going to be as effective as well. So definitely break all the parts that can be broken. Mount the monsters whenever you can, because you're going to get free damage at the end of it. And who doesn't love free damage, you know? So definitely try and go for them. And this is the next move I want to talk about here. This is the most devastating move that the Nergigante has, where it will rear back up, go up in the air, and it will basically dive bomb you. Now, as you see in slow motion here, what it actually does is it will roar first to basically demobilize you, and then it will go up in the air, and basically you need to time this right. So I actually get hit by this move. But you see, I go way too early. You meant to sort of dive about, see, now, but I dived way too early, and you see there's not the actual impact that got me. It was the thorns basically spreading out due to the impact that got me. So definitely watch out for that move. Again, use a shield if you can, or definitely go for a Superman dive a lot later than what I did there. So basically, another point I want to make for the Nergigante as well is the fact that it is actually an Elder Dragon, which means it cannot be caught in any traps whatsoever. So basically, if you want to use like large barrel bombs or anything like that on it, wait till it goes to its nest when it's near death, and wait until it's asleep at its nest, and then lay the bombs down then after that. And just basically follow all the other previous tips, and you should be able to kill it. It is a really tough monster, but it's definitely really rewarding when you finally take it down. It is a lot harder than the beta version. I know a lot of people who played the beta sort of found the game a bit too easy, and then even when Nergigante came along, they did notice a spike in difficulty, but still found it relatively easy. Well, the full release version is a lot harder, so I hope these tips were useful. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe if you can as well. So that's it for the video just now, and take care.